Jim! Hey, Jim! Welcome to Legends of Gotham, where we talk about Fox's hit series Gotham, set in the world of Batman. I'm Bill Meeks.
And I'm Anne-Marie DeSimone.
How you doing, Anne-Marie?
I'm good. How are you?
Excellent, excellent. I crept into shot this week.
I kind of want to go, hey, Bill.
Hey, Bill! I not nearly as creepy as the guy who actually played it, unfortunately.
No, not at all.
But really good episode this week. Many are saying probably the best episode ever.
We're only on what, 7?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, okay, I'll give him that.
Fair enough. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. But we're gonna have the main discussion as we normally do for this week's episode, Penguin's Umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
But before we do,
hey, sorry,
it's fine.
Easily distracted.
I'm sure there have been many people singing that song in relation to this episode already.
Yeah, there had to be.
We were fortunate enough to be able to connect with one of the cast members. Connect with one of the cast members with some questions. Hey, Anne-Marie, you want to intro this?
Okay.
I'd like you to intro this.
Yeah, I know you would like me to intro this. So this week we have a special interview with our good buddy, friend of the show, and fantastic Victoria Cartagena. I think I said it right.
Cartagena. Yeah, we listened to the recording of her.
We're really bad at pronouncing things. I'm so sorry.
Terribly bad at pronouncing.
Terribly bad at last names.
But
yay, Vicky!
I know we're very excited. Actually, I think I see her coming down the way there. Oh, there she
Vicky.
is.
Hold on.
There she is. For people who are listening to the audio version, we have an overlay of Victoria here.
I might be petting her hair.
It's possible, but for people who are watching the live video, we're still going to hang out here. We'll actually be able to look at chat a little bit. This is a bit of a long piece, about 7.5 minutes pre-recorded interview with Renee Montoya herself. So we'll go ahead and get started with that right now. Were you familiar with Montoya before being cast?
I wasn't familiar with Montoya before being part of Gotham.
Were you familiar with Montoya before being cast?
I wasn't familiar with Montoya before being part of Gotham. I found out about her once I was cast in the role, and I chose not to read the comics while I was shooting the pilot because I wanted to be introduced to her as Bruno Heller, the creator and the writers, introduced her to me. But after the pilot, I have a cousin who's a fanboy, and he told me a little about her, and I Googled her and just found that she was so fascinating that I needed to get to know her more. And so I started with Gotham Central and have since moved on to 52.
How was she presented to you? What appealed to you as an actress about the character?
Renee was presented to me in the pilot as a very smart, driven, and passionate detective who was in recovery and was still in love with her ex, who is engaged to a man who she thinks is corrupt. And what appealed to me as an actress was the fact that, that, yes, she's this dedicated cop, and you're given a hint about a dark past that she has. So, you're reading it and you're reading the script, and you know that this is a character that's not just going to be a one-dimensional character. She has a lot going on at work and in her personal life, and it's all interconnected, and it can really be fleshed out and explored in a really interesting way.
What is your process for memorizing scenes?
My process for memorizing lines, I wish it was more interesting process, but I usually just read the scene over and over, and eventually it sinks in.
What kind of stuff did you work on before Gotham?
I went to acting school, the American Musical and Dramatic Academy, and did a little theater at school. And when I graduated for 2 straight years, I did a lot of off Broadway stuff that you get from backstage, and that was pretty much it, because then I got an agent and went straight into doing television, and I shot about 3 pilots, not including Gotham, that only one of them was picked up. It was called The Bedford Diaries, and it only lasted like 8 episodes into the first season. So after that, I did all the New York guest starring shows, like I've done Unforgettable, Blue Bloods, The Good Wife, Elementary, SVU, anyone I could that they would allow me to be a part of. And yeah, that was basically it for Gotham.
We saw you've been reading 52. Are you liking Montoya's journey? What part of it excites you the most as somebody playing the character?
So yes, I have started reading 52. Only at the very beginning, where Renee just meets Vic Sage, the original Question, and he's asked her to do some surveillance at a warehouse or something. And for what I understand or what I've read so far, it seems that she's hit rock bottom, and I have more to go. But she, she's lost her professional partner, Crispus Allen, and feels a tremendous amount of guilt about that. She's been drinking heavily, and so much that her life partner, Daria Hernandez, has left her, and we know that her parents have disowned her. So at this point, she's gone through and is going through a tremendous amount of guilt, sadness, grief, and anger. And it's just so darn interesting to read. It's quite a journey that and I find myself like loving her more as I get to know her better, and really, really rooting for her. And what's most exciting for someone playing the character is that there's so much material to choose from. And the writers want to go that route. Also, just reading the comics has made me such a huge Renee Montoya fan, and I have so much respect for her. And I have to tip my hat out to the writers who created and wrote for her, like Greg Rucka and Jeff Johns, because they've just handled her beautifully.
What shows are you watching right now?
All right, so I watch way too much TV, and people are like, how do you have the time to do it? So I found that I like to watch TV as I'm running on my treadmill, so that's why I have the time to do it. So here it goes. Okay, so Orphan Black, because Tatiana Maslany is a genius, and it's just an amazing, fun show. The Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, Derek, Orange is the New Black, American Horror Story, The Bates Motel, The Fall, Getting On, which is on HBO. I love it so much. It's Laurie Metcalf is hilarious. I loved her for so long since Roseanne, and she's just I adore her. Brilliant to watch.
You're from Philly. Most people would ask you your favorite cheesesteak. We're going to ask you what your favorite pizza shop was instead.
So there are two places that my family ordered from. My personal favorite was Little Sicily, which was located in South Philly on Delaware Avenue, which now is Columbus Boulevard, but will forever be Delaware Avenue to me. And the other place was the pizza place on 7th Street, 7th and Morris, which we called the 7th Street Pizza because, well, it was on 7th Street. And I don't even know if it was that the 7th Street Pizza was better than Little Sicily, but this is like a time before the internet. And so, we all had yellow pages, and that's how you got your pizza place. So in my house, the yellow pages, it was just always missing. So 7th Street had this just annoying commercial, it's horrendous, with this jingle for their phone number, and it would just stick in your head. So it'd be like 755-990 is the pizza place. So you just, it'd be in your head. So when you ordered pizza and you couldn't find the yellow pages, you just hummed a little jingle and you called them. So yeah, that's the place. And now you know why I also don't do musicals. And so as long as we're on the topic, cheesesteaks, I'm not sure what the best is, but if you're going to choose between two of the most famous places in Philly, Gino's or Pat's, I would definitely say Pat's.
What's been the most challenging scene to shoot so far?
The most challenging scene for me to shoot so far was in a scene in the Balloon Man, when the MCU pays a visit to Fish Mooney, and it's just mostly because I'm a huge Jada Pinkett Smith fan, and I have been forever, and I'm also just in awe of what she is doing with this character. I really, really enjoy it. And, I kept getting nervous, but I knew that, Montoya would not be nervous, or she would not show it like I would. So I had to keep giving myself a good talking to before each take. And I survived it. Plus, she's really nice and lovely. So it was great, and it all turned out well.
Anything else?
So thank you so much, guys, for talking with me and allowing me to chat. You guys are awesome. I've listened to a few of your podcasts, and I get a hoot out of it. So thank you, Bill and Anne-Marie, and I look forward to talking to you guys. Bye.
The end. Da-da-da.
Thank you very much, Victoria.
Yay, thank you.
Yay.
I'm gonna pet your hair.
That was so great. And a few things I just want to bring up. One, definitely anytime you want to chat with us, feel free. It would be great
Absolutely.
if we could get her some time for to join us in a hangout or something to actually, get a back and forth going.
That would be fun to not have to do the pre-recorded.
Yeah, because it does. No matter what you do with that, it is going to feel a little awkward.
Years.
Sorry. Someone just IM'd me in the chat room here. They asked if we could ask her about her favorite movies too. Unfortunately, we don't have her here.
She is not really here.
Yeah, even though it looks like she is right here.
Looks like she's right
But that would be something that would be great if we ever manage to get a hangout with her or something. I guess maybe we'll have to talk to the people at Warner Brothers.
We'll have to talk to the people.
Try and figure it out. But thank you so much,
Yes,
Victoria.
thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, and let's see here. Okay, well, I guess we should. Oh wait, no, I had a couple other things I wanted to mention here.
Okay, mention things.
Okay, first off, in her email where she sent us her answers and everything, as well as in the message itself, she thanked us for allowing her to be on our show. Thank you for being on our show. Our little podunk podcast here. I loved her singing the jingle. Like you could tell, it was just something she'd done like a billion times. As far as the cheesesteak controversy, I preferred Gino's just because I always went down to South Street anyway. I could walk off the cheesesteak on the way back to my apartment.
See, I'm a Pittsburgh
Philadelphia.
girl, so I'm a Permanis.
Fair enough.
Forget the pizza. Give us a Permanis.
All it's about is eating the right of sandwiches to give yourself a heart attack.
Sure, let's do it.
That's the Pennsylvania way. Let's see here.
So Scrapple in Lancaster.
Oh, and I also liked that she mentioned that for the pilot and everything, she really didn't look at much of the source material, because one of my favorite directors I had when I was a theater kid back in the day would never let us watch any adaptations. Before like we were to do it, because they didn't want us stealing stuff from the performers and everything. But let's see here. Okay, well, why don't we go ahead and get into the discussion for this week's episode, Penguin's Umbrella. And thank you again, Vicky.
Thank you, Vicky. Okay. Who wants to kill our good pal Jimmy G? Who doesn't is quicker to answer, you see? Who sends a killer after a cop? The same man who's tending to chickens non-stop. Does love conquer all? Penguin has his thoughts. Will he make his point before Maroney's man clots? Snitches get stitches. Is that true for this fella? Not when he's holding Penguin's umbrella. I really want to pick up this umbrella.
Penguin's umbrella. It's right behind you. Look out.
Oh my gosh. If I'd have realized. Yep.
Your lighting's all bad now, though.
Who needs to see me? I have an umbrella. There. How's that?
I like it.
Reflective.
I like it. Just don't show the logo of the lighting company on the back.
Got it. Sold.
Okay, so overall, Anne-Marie, what did you think?
I loved it.
You did?
Loved it. So much fun. Like everybody's been saying, it just keeps getting better. It just, when you go, they can't get much better than this.
Yeah.
They do.
Well, I remember back on episode 2, we were like, finally, they found their stride and we're good to go from here. And no, it just
kept striding.
Every week, the quality just doubles.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's awesome.
But you know what? I just want to go ahead and get into the discussion because it was such a good episode.
Let's make it happen.
First, and this is it was kind of the headline in the episode too a bit. But Victor Zsasz, the famous Batman villain,
I was about to say he's famous, right?
Yes.
I've never heard of him.
He's a pretty big Batman. More popular in recent years, I think, than previously. I think the first big play he got might have been in Grant Morrison's Arkham Asylum book back in the 80s.
Oh, okay. Yes. That one.
Trying to educate.
That's okay.
No, but I thought it was a really good take on him. I know he does have an aversion to guns in the comics. And he very much didn't in this episode. I saw some people complaining about that. So I'm sure there's probably a story somewhere in the future about why he gets the aversion to guns, or story possibility there. I did think it was interesting that he was able to just completely clear out that police station, no problem whatsoever. Go ahead.
He said please.
He did say please.
No, it was
please.
Please.
That dude was so psycho.
Yeah,
I loved it.
Okay, why are all the crazies bald?
I don't know. I think,
Have you noticed that?
Well, it's a known fact that people keep sanity in their hair, and the less hair you have,
So
the
you're
more
getting
crazy.
crazier?
Yes, the more hair I lose, the more crazy I get. That's verified fact. Verified fact.
Nice. Okay, sorry. I just noticed I was just like,
Mhm.
you know, many shows that I watch, the crazy villainy character is
Mhm.
bald and bicked.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
So, yeah.
And Lex too. Lex
Yeah.
Luthor.
Yeah.
But I kind of wonder. There's two possibilities for how he was able to clean it out so easy. Well, I mean, obviously, one possibility is everyone was just scared of him.
Yeah.
But I kind of got the impression that because people let him in and let him kind of have a carte blanche and climb up on the desk before he even identified himself, or that he was working with Falcone. So I don't think it was he's associated. He's Falcone's guy. Let him be kind of thing. Like, I think he must have a reputation for something in Gotham.
No, it's the way he walked in.
You think it was the way he walked in?
He walked in so confident.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have just gone, I'm just gonna sit back here.
Just squirreled back away.
Just gonna go back here.
I loved his henchman, by the way, in that, like, the S&M gear. It was
yeah.
It felt like the henchman from the old Batman TV show, because they always had like the Penguin would have a bunch of 8 guys all in the same t-shirt kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
You know, so that was pretty cool too. But yeah, I'm kind of wondering why he has the reputation he does, if that's the case. Like, you think it was more of a presence thing, though?
Yeah, I think it was his presence.
Well, he definitely had presence. That's for sure.
He took command.
Mhm.
Like, why would you question him?
Yeah. And I did like how Captain Essen was even going to stay there with Jim.
Even especially after she just said, I'm not going to help you.
I'm not going to help you.
No one will help you, not even me.
Mhm. But she was the only cop who stayed there. Yeah. After all that,
she was the captain.
I did think it was interesting too, because as was kind of implied in this episode, not outright stated, every time he kills somebody, he puts a tick mark on himself, right? And he only had 28 at this point. Which,
yes,
I mean,
only 28. That's nothing.
In the real world, 28 is a large number of people to have killed. But in the comics, he has like hundreds all over every inch of his body.
Well, this is the past.
I know it's early days. But I think the only reason that number seems low to me is because I'm working on the assumption, and like we said before, you're not, that he has a reputation within Gotham, and I'm like, 28 people, a mobster killing 28 people, that doesn't necessarily garner you that big of a reputation. 28 people for a mobster, I think we've seen one of Maroney's guys kill that many people.
Yeah.
They almost killed that many nuns this episode.
The nun wall.
The nun wall.
The nuns.
Which was perfect, because a good Italian boy isn't going to run over nuns.
No, neither of those men would run over a nun. Actually, most of the villains are Italian. But I don't know what I was going to say now.
Oh, you don't?
I don't. I've lost it. Sorry, we started talking Italian and nuns.
Well, why don't you? We go ahead and dig in on Jim and Barbara like you wanted to.
Yeah, they're just to completely switch gears. Okay, hold on. This umbrella's got to go.
Yeah, I was going to say, how long is she going to keep the umbrella up
I
there?
was giving it a good shot. I'll bring it back when we talk about the Penguin, maybe. I don't understand the relationship. I know, like, I think it was last week, I was like, I love them, they're wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
But now Barbara's just getting a little bit annoying.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like,
Barbara, please get on this bus and go save yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Goes to Falcone.
Yeah, I think I said to you last night during my rewatch, your first watch, something along the lines of, the only thing that the Barbara character does is make decisions that put Jim's life in danger.
Seriously.
Like,
I mean, he even said to the point that don't come after. She's like, what if you don't come? Don't ever come back to Gotham. Do not ever come back to Gotham. Doop, 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 back to Gotham.
Yeah, and it definitely feels like that. What's his name? Frankie. Yeah, and then the later one with Zsasz and Falcone's place and everything. It definitely just feels like she's just like the de facto damsel in distress. Like, Princess Peach had more gusto about her.
She really did. But what are they going to give her? What's she going to do? Throw money at him?
Yeah.
But what's her defense right now?
Yeah, it feels like the character could have more to do. like, or could
Then
have
let's have her talk to Montoya more, because
Mhm.
that's where she actually had like something going on.
Something engaging.
Yes, like can we talk about the fact that she was getting high in the middle of the day in that one episode 4 episodes ago or whatever?
I would
feel like that needs to come. Sorry.
I think it would be nice if Montoya came over and they just had like one entire half episode of them just getting baked in that apartment and looking at the clock and questioning the nature of time. That would be a really good episode, I think.
It would be. It just wouldn't really fit.
Hashtag clock episode. Tweet attack Gotham right now.
No. No.
This is your mission.
Do not. Do not do that. Yeah, that's what I had.
Yeah, they could
Feel a
do
little taken.
they
I'm like,
you're like shocked. Where do we go from
I
there?
don't like
Where do
I
we go
don't
from
I don't
there?
know where to go.
No, but I definitely think they could give Barbara a little more to do. Hopefully they will.
Yeah, maybe that's really what it is. It's just like
Mhm.
I like the actress. I like the way she plays the
Mhm.
character.
Oh, definitely.
I see so much potential.
Mhm.
Can we do something with this, please?
Yeah, and I mean, in one sense, based on what we know of the character in the comic, it's probably a doomed character. But at the same time, like, if her death is going to have an impact on the audience, I mean, obviously it'll have an impact on the Gordon character because I mean,
And Montoya.
and Montoya because they're have been and are in relationships. But in order for it to have any sort of impact from the audience, besides finally, like it would be nice if we just got a little bit more. I don't know, some positive stuff going Barbara's way. But then again, I have posited that maybe she's up to something too.
Doesn't she have to have a baby before we can kill her off?
Most likely.
I'm like, that's the only thing. I'm just like, wait a minute. I know.
Unless he has the baby with Sereis later on down the line and they name it after her or something.
Oh.
I could see that too. Oh. But that's not how it went down in the comics.
But she even said she already has she has a family.
Oh yeah, she did, didn't she?
She's like, I do what I got to do. I have a family.
That's very true. That's very true. Maybe they won't be exploring that pathway.
This is only season 1.
Yeah.
First half.
There's plenty of time to lose that family. There's plenty of time for Victor Zsasz to come in and add a couple more marks on his arm there. Okay.
Oh,
Asin! Okay, next up, we should probably talk about, there was a pretty big moment in this episode towards the end there that completely retextualized the entire series up to this point.
Yeah, basically.
We know why Penguin was so confident when he came back out of that river. Like it completely changed the way you look at the entire series. The fact that him and Falcone have been in on it together.
No, the Penguin really has been in on the entire thing.
Yeah, he obviously he was the originator of the plan, but Falcone's been in on it with him for a while now, or at least like the surface plan.
I think it's kind of like it has Falcone's blessing.
Falcone
did his one little bit, and now literally this I think at the very end was the first time the two of them had spoken. Yes.
And I went back and looked, and in case when I was scrubbing through, when I was scrubbing through the episode, I missed it. We never really got that scene at all. Like not even a hint of that scene in the pilot episode of the scene between them. But a very, very interesting reveal.
Yeah. I loved it though.
Oh, for sure.
I loved it.
For sure. And I also okay. Now I know the Penguin. The Penguin. He seems very committed to this whole Falcone thing, but he's also very committed to himself. And he seems like he's always seemed like one of his main motivations is to get what Fish wanted, because he wanted what Fish wanted. He wanted the power. He wanted Gotham, right? Okay, so what I think that means is he's going to be just like with how he is with Maroni right now. He's going to be Falcone's best friend until he doesn't need to be anymore.
Yep.
And as we saw in this episode, his big sort of twist on the classic "love conquers all" phrase, where it's love gives me your love gives me the ability to conquer you.
Yeah.
I started thinking, well, what does Falcone love? And there
chickens.
He does love chickens, and I actually have a point about that later on in the episode.
Sorry.
Oh no, it's fine. But it comes across in the scene between Falcone and Jim towards the end of the episode. But I think the thing Falcone loves most of all, and Fish thinks it's his mom and all that, but it's actually Gotham City. Gotham City is his true love. And I think the reason he's so okay with letting Jim live, and the reason that the Penguin so easily convinces him about everything, is because he sees in Jim Gordon someone who could help him protect Gotham City. You know, and he doesn't want it to descend into anarchy, like he says
Right.
in the episode and everything. So I think the only way that the Penguin could based on the whole love conquers all concept that he used to kill Maroni's second command, the only thing that he has to strike Falcone with is Gotham. So I think what is going to end up happening when he gets ready to take things over, or take over Falcone's empire, he's going to try and burn Gotham to the ground. I think the Penguin's going to go after Gotham.
Interesting.
I could see that as like a season finale. Maybe do fans of the comics will know what I'm talking about. Sort of a no man's land scenario or something where the Penguin just completely anarchy wrecks the city and they shut it down. Like it's a classic storyline from the comic books that the Penguin was heavily involved in, where basically there's an earthquake and the federal government shuts down the city. No one can go in, no one can go out. And Batman's left there with like Arkham Asylums. Everyone's been let out of Arkham Asylum. The criminal, like there's everything's being run by gangs, like the police are gangs and everything. Like they have police tags like GCPD or whatever, like on the wall and stuff.
That's weird.
So I think that could definitely be a direction we could see later on this season. I hope so.
Yeah, we could. Oh yeah, we could see that. The only thing I have with that is, like, you say he's okay with letting Jim live, but he says to the Penguin,
maybe we shouldn't.
Yeah.
Like I think that's the only because obviously there's that doubt in his mind, like, should I be allowing this?
Yeah.
And that's the only thing that's keeping, is that he sees in Jim somebody he can get under his thumb, you know, just send Zsasz after Barbara every once in a while and kind of take control of the city. Are you that cold?
I'm right under the vent.
Oh, wow.
It's freezing. I'm Eskimoed up in my blanket.
Sorry
over
about
here.
that. It's
Sorry.
the lights in here. It's the lights in here.
I have not been hot from the lights in months.
Well, you know, Eskimos were known for eating fish, and you had a point about fish here, right? So.
That was a beautiful transition.
Thank you.
It's like
Thank
I wrote
you.
it for you. Okay, so the scenes with Fish and Falcone and Fish and Maroni. I love it. Falcone telling Fish, now you go over to Maroni and you ask him nicely for the Penguin back. Ask him nicely, Fish. Like, I don't know. I just love the way, like, he's treating her, because I mean, we're really just now getting how she's not the top.
Yeah, and it definitely, in the pilot, it appeared that she was kind of she was at least level with Maroni and Falcone, or like
pushing
a skitch under or something.
Yeah,
like that.
she's not. She's pretty low level.
Yeah, but
crazy.
with a lot of aspirations and a decent amount of sway and power.
Yeah, sway. But now her backup's gone.
Yeah,
so there's that. But then the next thing, when she's over with Maroni, and you can tell when she's got her fake on, kind of. You won't bite him, will you? And she just gives this look like, I might bite him.
Maybe.
I
by the way, I love Maroni. Like,
I love Maroni.
He is just such a great actor. He's so entertaining to watch and everything. And the accent too is great. And I'm not sure if that's the actor's actual accent or not.
I'm not sure. I had a couple things. One of them, well, I can't actually read my entire quote from my notes due to language, but Jada was amazing this episode. Like, it didn't feel, I know, like, some of her scenes have felt a little overacted.
Yeah.
Not excessively, just a little bit. This did not feel that way at all. This was just, like, amazing and very intriguing and captivating and all that good stuff.
I did notice little funny things, but I want to address it a little bit later on.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a little tease there. So some things I noticed about Jada's performance.
Okay. My only other thing with those scenes was all of Penguin's sarcastic responses and the fact that Maroni's completely entertained by them, because you can't not know that they're sarcastic. I'm so sorry that I did that to you, Fish. Smack. Smack.
Yeah, and it's one of those things too. It's one of those kind of classic scenarios where kind of the big leader guy, Maroni, keeps the kind of sniveling sycophant around just because he entertains them, you know, and he has a good idea every once in a while, but a good idea for Penguin anyway. Okay, well, we'll get back into the main discussion in just a minute here, but first, it's time once again for Look at This Joker. Look at this Joker. He's kind of there. He's wearing bells on his hat, and he has underwear. Look at this Joker, where every week we take a look at the possible Joker candidates, Easter eggs, clues, etc. in every episode of Gotham. And we've been doing it since the beginning. We have the pilot here, Selena Kyle. We didn't have anything last week because it was kind of weak. But this week had something very intriguing. And it actually takes place in that scene you were talking about, Anne-Marie.
No, it's not, but I liked this scene too.
Oh, yeah. You were talking about the other scene. But in the scene on the waterfront where Maroni and Falcone make nice, basically there's a deal that's made. And if you remember a couple weeks back in Arkham, we got a description of a waste disposal site that was around Arkham. And in this episode, Maroni offers Falcone Indian Hill, which is a toxic waste dump on top of an Indian burial ground. Now, this could be the same site that was mentioned in Arkham, or it could be a different one, but it definitely sounds like it could be the future site of Ace Chemicals, which, as we all know, is the place where the Joker, in some versions of the story, becomes the Joker. You know what really, really bothers me, too?
Fact that I'm singing.
I also noticed 2 typos in my Look at This Joker entry while I was reading it.
So you're editing while we're...
Yeah, it's totally fine, though. I'll get it edited. But join us next time for Look at This Joker. Look at this Joker! Okay, now we have something to give away before we get back into the main discussion. If you remember, we've been doing a review contest where you go and you leave us a review on iTunes or Stitcher. We read them on the podcast, and then whoever did it, who got the best one, was going to win this poster. Now,
How are we deciding between the two?
Oh, well, we'll get to that.
Okay, because I forget.
Basically, what me and Anne-Marie did is we each went in and we picked our favorite review. We'll read them each here, and then what we'll do is we'll flip a coin, and I'll have Anne-Marie call it. Yeah, I have a coin right here. And we'll have Anne-Marie call it in the air, and then that person's going to win the poster. So my review, it's actually our 1-star review that we got, but
it's the best 1-star review you could ever have.
It's actually pretty positive, and it's also very balanced. It's not all cheers and whiskers or whatever. But it's from Keeb 1003. I'm a slight bit of a comic geek. Gotham is a good as a concept so far. Hopefully the concept can last over the long haul. I don't know if it will. The podcast, however, is pretty good. Yes, it may be a rah kind of podcast, but it's a podcast about a specific show. It's supposed to be that way. Meeks seems knowledgeable about comics, and AMD brings a change up from just a comic book-based point of view. I dig the podcast. Keep it up.
Why, thank you.
Thank you very much.
I was a cheerleader, so I'm very good at the rah.
Rah.
Wow. Okay. Now,
I'm not.
You, not so much. Me, it's a little biased on this one. So this one was called Fighting the Crime of Boring Podcast by Pastor of the Batman. Every week, Bill and Anne-Marie, Cape Crusaders of enjoyable listening entertainment, will escort you on a guided tour of the seedy city of Gotham, engaging, informative, and enthusiastic. These 2 Gothamites won me over with their positive perspective and their earnest desire to see Gotham succeed. Terrific balance of personalities, too. Bill is completely chic geek, and Anne-Marie is fantastically adorable, plus her voice is audibly delicious.
Legendary. Delicious.
Hey, it wasn't me that time.
Yeah, and thank you, Pastor of the Batman, for that one.
Thank you.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and sit back here so I don't knock things over. But
okay, I'll call it.
You'll call it in the air?
And if it's what I said, Pastor of the Batman wins. If it's not, then Keeb wins.
Then Keeb wins. Okay. Dun, 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 dun.
Heads.
Heads
it is.
Pastor of the Batman. Congratulations. You've won a Gotham poster, San Diego Comic-Con Gotham poster.
True
just go ahead. I know we follow you on Twitter and stuff. Why don't you
DM us?
Yeah, well, just go ahead and send us an email, legendsofgotham@gmail.com with your address, and we'll get it out in the mail to you in the next couple days.
Yep.
And thank you everyone who left a review.
Seriously, yeah.
Big help and really great for the podcast and everything here at the beginning.
Feel free to keep leaving those reviews.
Oh yeah, if any reviews you leave, we will read on the podcast. Guaranteed.
We like to read.
All right, we should get back into the main discussion here.
Yes,
there was a not only Victor Zsasz, but there was another new, very, very integral, important character that everybody knows
Except
to the Batman
Anne-Marie.
universe. Wait, you don't know Leslie Tompkins?
I got nothing.
Dr. Leslie Tompkins?
No.
Anne-Marie.
No.
What are we going to do with you?
Apparently, you're going to educate me because
Yeah,
I
guess we have
asked
to
you
educate
questions
you a
about
little
this earlier, and you said,
This
I don't know.
is Leslie Tompkins, a little bit older in the comics than she is in the
Significantly older.
in
She's
Gotham.
like a brand new doctor in this episode.
But then again, it is an origin story. But Dr. Leslie Tompkins, she is known. There's a couple things she's known for. One, she's known for having a very strong relationship with Bruce Wayne right after his parents died, being a friend of the Waynes. And also, she's the guy. She's the doctor that Batman goes to when he has the injuries that Alfred can't take care of.
Oh, okay. She's that doctor.
Yeah. So this is Leslie Tompkins, and I was really excited to see her. I thought the actress did a great job with her. It's still a little bit early in her career. She's still in school, but I do like that she's
dealing with rats.
Yeah, I do like that she's just like all sorts of mobsters and criminals have, that back alley doctor they can go to if they want to stay off the grid. Because Gotham, all the criminals are tapped into the grid. It looks like she's going to be the person that all the cops go to when they don't want the mob to find out where they are, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And I just kind of wonder, when's the first time Bruce is going to go out to get in a fight or try and stop some criminals or something, and she's going to have to take care of him.
It's going to come soon.
Yeah.
But not if Alfred has anything to say about it.
Which we'll get to talking about a little bit in the news section. But yeah, it was really cool to see Leslie Tompkins. We heard she was going to be cast a few weeks back, and it was finally good to see her in an episode. Jim's a bruiser, though.
Jim is a bruiser. He got shot twice and kept running.
Yeah, I don't think I mentioned it later, but I will say that I like that the Batman trait that Bruce picked up this episode was pushing through physical pain even when it's very dangerous for you.
Yeah.
From Jim Gordon, because he, like in that scene in Wayne Manor, he was like holding his side like a.
Well, I just like that Alfred even was like, "You're obviously in pain. What can we do for you?" I was expecting him to be like, "Can I get you dinner? Would you like a beverage?"
That's very Alfred.
Warm cup of tea and a croissant.
Cup of tea, Master Gordon.
Cup of tea.
Okay, let's see here. You wanted to talk a little
sort
bit
of,
about
it sort of leads right into that. I love the relationship between, well, as we'll call them, the Wayne Manor boys, with Gordon, and how Alfred. How does he overpower Crispus?
He's that good. He's ex-military.
So that I've known some ex-military that couldn't do that. No, he just like has him like basically in a headlock and slams him in the car. Master Jim, are you in there?
Well, I'm sure there's a decent security system at Wayne Manor, unless you're Catgirl. So
yeah,
maybe it's possible that maybe he got the drop on him too. I'm sure. Although didn't Alfred had a knife, didn't he? That could have had something to do with it.
Had a knife.
I think he might have had a knife too.
I wouldn't be surprised. So that was kind of entertaining.
Spot of trouble then.
Spot of trouble. Oh, you're in a spot of trouble then.
Spot of bava.
It's a bava.
That's what other in a British accent. That's what I think. That's what Alfred said to Gordon there. Right after.
Got you. And then I liked how the Bruce and Gordon interactions. Just and he's trying to be like, these guys are gonna take care of you. You expect to die. Why? I'm not gonna. Don't treat me like a child. You are a child. Don't treat me like a child. Like they have a very father-son relationship.
Oh yeah.
Or favorite uncle, something like that. So it was kind of cute when he holds his hand out, with respect to give him a handshake, and he like crumbles into him crying. I was like, oh, so precious.
Yeah, it's definitely a little odd to see Batman hugging Commissioner Gordon, but I can dig it. It also
he's 14.
It kind of these kind of scenes kind of it helps make sense of the fact that Batman's okay with taking younger people like Robin around with him later on in his career too, because he knows he was a capable youngster, so he can probably identify them. That line, "You expect to die," he said that was probably the closest that David, the actor who plays
Mm-hmm.
young Bruce Wayne, has gotten to Batman voice. You expect to die. Like it reminded me very much of like that classic Batman voice, which was
Yeah.
really cool to see too.
Perfect
nailed it.
casting. Perfect
Absolutely
casting.
nailed it. I don't think an adult actor could have done it better.
Not the whole character.
But right before that scene though, this is something that I was very excited about because we heard from Victoria earlier in the episode. We've been interacting with her and Andrew and the MCU people, probably most of all out of any of the cast members since before the show even started.
Which we welcome the rest of you to interact with us as well.
Oh, definitely. But because of that, because we had such a positive association with the actors, it was a little tough having the characters be unlikable, which that's entirely the intention.
Mm-hmm.
But it was kind of like, man, I hate that Montoya, but Victoria's so nice. But we finally get redemption for the MCU characters a little bit here because they're not up against our protagonist anymore.
Right.
They're not up against Jim Gordon. And it was really nice to see that Montoya admitted that her personal feelings about Barbara had a lot more to do with her going after Gordon so hard than the death of Oswald Cobblepot the death of Oswald Cobblepot.
Yeah.
But so it was really good, nice to see Montoya finally admit it. And I think it definitely made Jim realize, okay, I can trust these people.
Well, he'd already sort of crossed that line.
Yeah. Well, when they saved him.
Yeah, I was going to say, my note at that was, Montoya and Allen to the rescue!
But I think, even from the first episode, he's fundamentally seen that they're good cops. And it just has caused them to be on opposite ends of the spectrum for a while.
Yeah.
And I will be interested to see in future episodes if the MCU people end up hanging out with Bruce more, because I think that would be kind of cool too. Because just that scene in the Manor too, it was kind of cool because there's future Batman, future Spectre, and future Question, like all in one room conferring. I liked it. It was fun as a comic book.
I was about to say comic booky, and then there's me. I'm just watching them. I'm like, they look so
As
sad.
a comic book fan, I appreciated the references.
As a procedurals fan, I enjoyed the copiness.
Okay, let's see here.
What you got?
Let's see. No, I thought Bobby says that wasn't Leslie Tompkins. I'm pretty sure it was. I looked it up earlier today. I'm
Did
pretty
you look it up properly?
I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah. Did I? Maybe I got it wrong.
Oh
no.
Oh, you were
Yeah,
wrong.
I think I might have gotten it wrong, maybe. Yeah. Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame. I hope no one stopped listening to our show because I got it wrong. Because I even pulled up the actress's name, and I think I pulled up the actress's name, cross-referenced the picture to who was in the episode, and I was like, yeah, that's the same person, but I didn't look at the character name that she played on Gotham. I'm an idiot. I'm a complete and total idiot. Leslie Tompkins was not here, but now you know who Leslie Tompkins is, so that's good. And maybe she works with the Doctor Who's in this week's episode. Thank you, Bobby Hawk.
That's hilarious.
Definitely. Let's see. No, I'm embarrassed.
Thank you, Bobby. Well, we always encourage them to correct us.
Oh, for sure.
We always know Bobby will correct us.
Bobby will always correct us. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
Okay. You want to talk a little bit about the mayor?
Yeah. Mayor's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
I love him being our comic relief because he's the mayor.
Yes.
The mayor should not be your comic relief in anything. They should be like the serious person. And I just like that at first he was like, oh, Jim, you scared me. He's like, yeah, you're under arrest.
It's Jim Gordon. It's fine.
What's going on? And then he gets them into Falcone's.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I just need to see him. And they're like, what was it? Murder? Like said something about murder, bleeding. I don't know. And that was like, and he's like, oh, I'm late for work. Quite an adventure, guys. Bye. I was just like, what? How does even Falcone just let him just walk out of there?
Yeah, and Richard Kine's such a great comedic actor too.
Exactly. It's just funny because nothing else is comedic on the show.
Oh, I was going to say though, there's rare moments where he does kind of take a more serious turn, or kind of a little unsettling, just because I know him so much as a comedic
Everything's
actor.
comedic, yeah.
Yeah. I will say I'm going to dip into feedback here a little bit, just because Fee posted a comment on last week's episode that it was very relevant to the mayor. that
Okay.
I thought I'd address here real
All
quick.
right, share with the group.
And Fee writes about the scene with Selena, and this is from last week's episode. Well, I was curious about the box she took, and I hope it's a thing that we see again, that little silver box. I'm also curious about how she looked at Bruce's evidence board. The shot starts on the big pic of Maroney and pans across to the pic of the mayor, which has pics of Falcone and that female Wayne Enterprise employee whose name I don't remember on the other side. I've always thought that the mayor was pretty suspicious, so maybe, but we've had Selena say that she saw the face of the person who shot the Waynes, and here she is pointedly looking at the photo of the mayor. Also, she recognized him, which, you know, you'd recognize the mayor, but not many other people, right? That scene kind of felt a bit like maybe she was checking up to see if Bruce is on the right track, so that if he wasn't, she could leave him a new clue to point him in the right direction. Now, it's a very interesting theory. One, because who would suspect the mayor? And two, what could Falcone pressure the mayor into to, you know, have that much leverage over the mayor? Like, I thought it was weird in it that, you know, Falcone, this big mob boss and everything, they just let the mayor through the gate, no problem. Like that happens every other week or something.
Yeah,
like
they're
that.
buddies.
Yeah, they're super buddies. So Fee got me thinking. My theory now, if it turns out to be the mayor, he had to kill the Waynes for some reason, and that's like the blackmail that they have on the mayor now, or something like that. Like, and it was also, they were also killing the Waynes for their own reason, for the Arkham thing,
Right.
all of that stuff. It all goes back to Arkham.
It's always going to go back to Arkham.
For sure.
It's Gotham.
For sure. But I thought that was a little interesting point from Fee.
Yeah, that's really interesting, actually. Yeah, I think another thing that kind of makes him, he's very easily manipulated. So it just seems weird that the mayor is scared of everything and that he's easily manipulated. But I think that he may owe his election to Falcone.
Yeah, and B-Boy Rockstar says the mayor is such a tool.
Aww.
a little bit, but that's the character.
But he's a pleasant tool.
He's a pleasant tool. Well, you know, something that you need a lot of tools for is chicken coops.
Chicken coops.
And we had a lot of chicken coops, a lot of chicken maintenance this episode. And something that I thought was interesting is not only did we have Falcone taking care of chickens like the whole episode, but there was kind of a big bird motif all over the place. Okay, because of course we have the chickens in the trunk or in the truck and the hen house, and then Fish is actually dressed like a rooster. Like those are like rooster feathers on her shawl there, and her posture is like this, almost like a chicken. Almost like a chicken flapping its wings. And no, I think this is completely intentional. And of course, there's the penguin, who's another type of bird. But Falcone, in the episode, the entire episode, he's grooming his chickens just like he's groomed Fish all along. As we learn in the end of the episode, when the penguin, we find out that the penguin and Falcone have been working together to get back at Fish. So that's very intentional that she's like a chicken there, you know, like her posture's just like the, like I'm trying to do it in the camera a little bit, but it's very much like a chicken. And, you know, her shaw's like a chicken. He's grooming his chickens. His chickens are his agents out in the world, and chickens coming home to roost, I guess. And he also personally, to extend this metaphor so far that it breaks.
Yes.
He also has two foxes in his own hen house right now. One is Liza and the other's Oswald. One of them's going to be taking off some chicken heads sometime soon. I'm sure of it.
Wow.
Absolutely sure of it.
Wow. So
Falcone's chickens.
Falcone's chickens coming soon. So speaking of Liza, do you think she really is the fox in the hen house? Please don't die. Please don't die. Do you think she really is doing stuff for Fish, or if she's kind of free agenting a little bit?
Well, I think when you send someone in deep undercover like that, it's gonna appear that way.
Okay,
for sure. Like I did think she seemed even a little more fakey than she did the last time we saw her when she first met him in this episode. Like, go ahead and continue your thought.
That was the majority of my thought.
That was the majority.
That was
of the thought.
I didn't have much. Sorry.
Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. No,
And I mean, I like that he was like, admires her
Mhm.
for being brave and not being phased by anything that was going on. and
yeah.
The muffins. I actually expected them to be poison muffins.
See, I think Falcone knows. I think he did. I even, I was saying earlier that the Penguin's eventually going to double cross him. I think he knows that too. I think, he's the smartest guy in the room, for sure. And I think he's just waiting, letting everybody play their cards, and then he's going to play back. Yeah. But so I also think that's because I think it's this episode they mentioned that she hasn't been
yes, they have
servicing
not been
him romantically or anything like that
at all.
Yeah, and he hasn't been
He likes
interested.
to watch me cook and clean.
Yeah, and I think the reason is that he knows exactly who sent her and why she's there and all that sort of stuff, and he's playing her too.
Oh yeah. Okay, so there's that.
Excellent. Okay, so let's see here. Well, actually, I have a very precise arbitrary scale this week because
it's so specific.
Well, it was a specific number and a very dark, twisted thing specifically in the episode, so I felt I had to go with it. Okay, out of 28 arm lacerations, how many arm lacerations would you give this episode, Anne-Marie?
25?
Why?
Because it was awesome.
It was totally awesome.
It was totally awesome. Sorry, I'm putting them in the chat for them.
Oh, that's totally fine.
They always ask when I don't put it in. There was so much going on. Like, I had to go to bed early. I was tired, so I had to wait and watch it later. And you were like, the first 15 minutes are amazing. And I'm like, yes, they are. And then you're like, did you see that last scene? I'm like, oops, I may have dozed off and had to watch it again. I've been really tired. And it just took the whole thing and went. I'm like, how did I fall asleep?
Yeah, it's always the mark of a good series when they can have one scene that completely changes the entire series. Yeah,
one scene. It was amazing.
And well, I'll go ahead and give my arbitrary scale.
For sure.
I'm going to give it the full 28 arm lacerations.
What?
In fact, I'm going to pretend that he killed Jim Gordon, and give it 29. Because this was just such a good episode.
Why do you have to kill Jim?
Like you were saying, with the first 15 minutes felt like its own short film. The last 5 minutes completely recontextualized everything, and I absolutely loved it. I where they got to in this episode, I thought this was going to be like where we were at the mid-season finale. It's just like if they're accelerating it this much, I can't even imagine where things are going to go next week. Like it's going to be intense.
It's going to be crazy.
Absolutely intense. Okay, we're going to get to the news here. I just want to mention quickly, we want to thank Audible for sponsoring this week's episode of Legends of Gotham.
Thank you, Audible.
To get a free 30-day trial and get a free audiobook so you can try out their service, go to audibletrial.com/Gotham. We're not going to do the big spiel, the big recommends this week since we're already running a little long. But now, on to the news. News. Okay, first up, the ratings, and they're up for the first time ever.
Whoop, whoop.
Fox's Gotham this Monday drew 6.6 million total viewers and a 2.4 demo rating, rising 10 and 9% respectively week to week. It's also ever had an uptick in ratings.
That's awesome.
And I think this is, I don't have the exact numbers beside me here, but I'm pretty sure this is right around where Selena Kyle, the second episode, was.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if I remember correctly. But good stuff. Good stuff.
Okay. Promo.
Let's see here. Next up, we're gonna look at the promo here. Now
we're not gonna show you the promo, but we're gonna look at it and tell you.
Yeah,
what
we'll
happens.
narrate it for you, so you don't have to. Okay. Harvey's kind of paranoid about Falcone. It looks like there's a lot of city shots. Oh. Here, I'll fix it. Then Fish and Penguin are hanging out in the club, and it looks like Fish is going to get a little violent with a hat pin there. And people with baseball bats. Looks like maybe Black Mask could be from the comics. There's Liza with a vial of something.
Bruce.
Bruce wants to learn how to fight from Alfred.
Well, it's a good person.
Intense episode. Yeah, and the episode's called The Mask. It's going to be up next week. If you want to look at that promo, you can get it in the show notes at legendsofgotham.com, which is episode 13. Okay, a couple things I wanted to show off here real quick. Now, as you all know, this past weekend was Halloween, and some of the cast members decided to go ahead and dress up for it. Now, first up, we have Ben McKenzie, which is probably my favorite. I'll see if I can zoom in a little bit here.
It was awesome.
He dressed up as classic comic book Commissioner Gordon with the mustache, the white hair, everything. And it almost looks like that's his Commissioner Gordon suit he's wearing underneath the trench coat a little bit, which is totally fun. And then we also had Sean Pertwee, Alfred, dressed up as his own father, John Pertwee, the third Doctor, I believe. And he looks the spitting image. Like, I wonder if that's actually an old costume or if it's just like a facsimile.
No, I'm sure he can get access to the real costume or to
probably
one properly made.
Although when I was looking at this, not zoomed in, it looked like his arm somehow like disappeared behind the couch, but the couch was way behind him in like some sort of weird dimensional thing.
Well, Doctor Who.
And finally, let's see here. We have a couple more stories here. We did right before we went live tonight. We did get the first pictures of Harvey Dent as Nicholas D'Agosto as Harvey Dent, and yeah, he looks pretty Harvey Dentish. Some law books behind him there.
Oh yes, this is the person that you referenced when I was on jury duty this week.
Yes,
he was not there. He was not there.
Harvey Dent was not there.
I didn't even get to see a courtroom, folks. I was kind of sad.
Yeah, for those that don't know, Harvey Dent becomes the district attorney and then eventually Two-Face, the villain Two-Face later on down the line. And speaking of villains coming into Gotham, we're also going to be getting this guy, the Scarecrow. Jonathan Crane is going to be appearing on Gotham here in a little bit. Danny Cannon, I guess, in an interview or a convention appearance or something, let this slip this week that the Scarecrow was showing up. I don't think it was not supposed to. I don't think it was planned, maybe. But Zap to it says that on Gotham, the villain will be seen as a child before he takes on the Scarecrow moniker. In fact, it's something that will be passed on to him from his father, which will create an eventual enemy for Batman while still having a possible adversary for Jim Gordon. I definitely think that the Scarecrow could be tied in to the psychiatrist from last week, though, especially considering that the mask that the Spirit of the Goat wore had a few similarities to the Scarecrow mask, and I know even in promos some people were
confused.
Yeah, well, saying that was a possibility, and you can get links to that and all of our other stories at legendsofgotham.com. Now, every week when you're done watching Gotham, we like you to go and run to your computer and shoot us an email to let us know what you think about it. The email is legendsofgotham@gmail.com. The Twitter is @legendsofgotham. The Facebook is facebook.com/legendsofgotham. And the voicemail number is 424-274-2352. Again, that's 424-274-2352. And we have a few voicemails here this week. First one.
I love voicemails.
They're great because I can
breathe.
Yeah, let my voice rest because my voice is going bad for some reason. But Dave from Michigan, save me.
Hey guys, this is Dave from Michigan. Long-time listener, huge fan, calling for the Legends of Gotham podcast because I want to know if you guys picked up on the same thing I did. So I hope I get this in before you record tonight. At one point during the negotiation between Falcone and Maroni, you find them, Penguin leans in and tells Maroni what piece of land to give Falcone. And you hear that it's crap and it doesn't, it's a piece of garbage, but I'll take it as a sign of good faith. But then at the end of the episode, we find out that they're working together, Falcone and the Penguin. So is there something that casual viewers don't know about Indian Hills or Village or whatever it was that he said that is going to be important for Falcone and he wanted it from Penguin and that's why Penguin suggested it to him, suggested it to Maroni? And got him to go along with it so easily. Just a thought, wondering what you guys think. Have a good one.
No, Dave, that's a really good observation. Like, it didn't even occur to me that Falcone might have been requesting Indian Hill.
But when would he have requested it? We just said, it looked like they hadn't spoke since that initial.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if it was that they hadn't spoke since that initial thing. Like,
that's how I got it.
Really?
That's how I got that this was one of their first, this may have been their first interaction since the setup.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I could be completely wrong.
And I mean, we didn't see them walk away from each other in that scene
That's
too,
true.
in that flashback scene. So that could definitely come up again or something. And I mean, they could have been. There's email.
I don't know. There's cell
Maybe-
phones, but I think it's the 70s. It's really weird.
Okay, thank you very much again,
Yes,
Dave, for the
thank
email.
you.
And next up is Dawn, who just has some general impressions of the series just far.
Hi, Bill and Anne-Marie. It's Dawn of War. I'm just catching up on Gotham. Finished episode 7, Penguin's Umbrella, just now. Thought I'd give you a call. Wow. Okay, so I'm talking about the series overall here. I love the way it looks. It looks fantastic. It's so comic booky. The characters are, too. I love that thing where it's timeless. You don't know what time period it's set in. Is it now? Is it old? Who knows? I love the Penguin. Don't you love the Penguin? How awesome is that dude playing the Penguin? Yeah, this show's really turning into I'd hoped it would and kind of didn't believe it could. So if you guys want to be cheerleaders, I'm totally okay with that because it's awesome. That's all I have to add. All right, bye.
Thank you very much, Dawn.
Yay.
And Anne-Marie, while I play, Rebecca sent us in a voicemail too. You want to go through the chat and see if you can find some good comments to read? Because we do record this live on Google Plus every Wednesday night, 8:30 p.m. EST. And we've been getting a lot more active chat lately. So
I love that we have an active chat. I've been trying to actually respond to a little bit of it.
yeah, definitely. Go ahead and find a few to read out after Rebecca's voicemail here. Take it away, Rebecca.
Hey, it's Rebecca Johnson, and I'm calling about the Gotham episode called Penguin's Umbrella. I was sorry I missed a chance to call last week about the weird legal situation with the MCU arresting a man for murder when they didn't even have a body and their only witness was a homeless man. I mean, what was that? But this week left me another legal question. How could Jim Gordon just plan to go arrest somebody? Was it like a citizen's arrest, or did he have an order from a district attorney or a police chief? I'm not sure how all of that works.
I gonna stop here. He had the pre-signed warrants.
Yeah.
And I think it was just a case they had these pre-signed warrants that were pretty much accepted as legit.
Yeah.
And he was just gonna take them, fill them out, and go and do it himself. Basically. I don't think he was trying to get a crew together.
Well, he even he sort of switched into crazy face. And he even acknowledged later that he kind of liked the feeling of being crazy. And he just walked up and, everybody's looking at him like, what's this guy going to do? What's going on here? Such a big deal about getting, hey, you got those blank warrants that Judge Bam Bam
from
signed?
Alvarez, who got, I think, got a speaking line this week.
He did. Yeah, here they are was the line or something like that. So
okay,
yeah,
here,
we'll
let Rebecca finish up.
Yes, I will have to defer to Anne-Marie on that one. I did enjoy that the guy who played Victor Zsasz was also on The Flash playing the character called The Mist. He's pretty good, no matter which DC villain he is. And I got a good laugh out of Victor Zsasz's ringtone. Was it a metaphor for Gotham City being a funky town? Look forward to the podcast.
Thank you very much, Rebecca.
That's awesome.
And did you find any things
I did a little bit. B-Boy Rockstar says he'd give the episode 8 bald head lacerations. Personally, I thought they should have let Gordon sweat a bit more about Barbara. I agree.
Definitely. I think actually Barbara should have been out for the way that they sent her out.
Yeah.
Like I think she should have been an X factor, and then it would have been more impactful if Falcone had her down the line or something,
Right. Let's see. And Patrina asked if we're watching any other DC shows, Flash or Arrow. I'm like, not right now.
Well,
Are you watching Flash?
Yeah, I'm watching. I've seen the first 2 episodes.
Yeah, I was
of
gonna say that's
Flash.
not watching. That's you've seen the first 2 episodes.
But I liked what I saw.
It's basically there just aren't enough hours in the day
Mm-hmm.
because each of our podcasts take at least 3 to 4 hours a week.
Yeah, but you liked the Flash, right?
I liked it. I mean, I saw the pilot last year when it leaked. I ain't gonna be shy. I watched it.
That's something you could probably get caught up on, over break or something.
Well, I actually, one of our listeners on our, no, she's listening to this one too, suggested another show for me. She's like, you like procedurals? Try this one. Can't remember it right now off the top of my head.
Oh yeah, that was Mystery Cat 25.
There we go. Thank you, because I was like, I don't remember who it was now. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to defer until Christmas break when I don't have podcasts to do to catch up on this.
Did you find any more? Was that?
That's pretty much about it.
Okay, cool. You want to read this letter from Elizabeth?
For sure. Scrolling, switching pages. Elizabeth, evening all. I just wanted to make a quick distinction regarding Catgirl Catwoman. Unlike other baddies in Gotham that are motivated by chaos or just flat out need to do evil, Selina has a solid compass of right and wrong. Yes, she is a thief. However, her motivations for doing so is to survive and spread the wealth, Robin Hood style. In canon, this girl becomes a woman who is a pain in the ass, but an ally in times of need. This podcast has mentioned her a few times now as being one of the bad guys, but honestly, she's just not. Her canon currently has her living in the worst part of Gotham in a brothel as a caretaker for underage girls who have no other choice but to sell their bodies for money. Her right-hand girl is one of these ladies, but got out and blossomed into a confident assistant who knows the streets almost as well as Selina herself. Does this sound like a villain? We see traces and foreshadowing of this exact future in each episode. She steals milk to feed her cat. She acts as a protector against Lily Taylor and Frank Whaley, and she watches over Bruce. Love the podcast and can't wait to hear more. Just need to chime in on the distinction. Elizabeth DB.
Oh yeah, and I
much appreciated.
You know, I definitely I'm aware of that aspect of the character too. It's really more of a shorthand just because she's always been associated with Batman's rogue gallery that it's easier to call her a villain. But even, you know, like the Julie Newmar version of the character back on the old Batman TV show, she had sort of a moral ambiguity about her to where, yeah, she was a villain, she was a thief, but if Batman, I don't know, just took her out on the right date, maybe she'd be a good guy. And then obviously, as you mentioned in the comics, as they've gone on, she's the one villain Batman wants to save the most, and in modern comics, he pretty much has.
Yeah.
So, and I think she's even privy to the secret these days too, which is good. And yeah, I love what they've done with the Catwoman character over the past, I'd say like 10 or 12 years, like ever since I think the Darwin Cook era. I think that was the artist that when she got the goggles for as her mask and stuff like that, that's when I really started to hook into the character.
When she became steampunk?
Yeah, not so much the kind of I don't know, voluptuous skin tight purple outfit she had
Michelle
like back
Pfeiffer?
in the 90s. Yeah, well, Michelle Pfeiffer had its own thing going on too. They're pluses and minuses, but thank you for writing a little bit. Okay, and let's see. Tonda Gassa on Twitter said that he really liked the good plot development, interesting twist at the end, and some funny moments. 4 kneecap shots out of 5.
Nice. Okay,
serious message
there. Other Anne Marie says, I've got to say that it is keeping me watching, and I love the Penguin character. He is so creepy. So everyone is snitching on everyone or playing all their so-called partners. Very confusing and interesting to see how things play out.
Okay, great. And as I said, when you get done watching The Mask next Monday night, run to your computer, email us legendsofgotham@gmail.com, Twitter @legendsofgotham.
Twitter? Tweet us?
You can Twitter us.
You can use the Twitters.
Gotham. Facebook is facebook.com/legendsofgotham. And the voicemail number is 424-274-2352. Again, that's 424-274-2352. And I really want to thank Bobby again for correcting me on Leslie Tompkins.
Yes, thank you.
I'm still embarrassed by that. You
totally should be.
Okay, Emery, where can people find you online?
Where can people find you? You can find me on Twitter @DeSimone or @CCHCblog, and I blog over at crunchycrafty.com. Lots of recipes, occasional crafting, lots of coffee.
Okay, and as for me, you can follow me on Twitter @BillMeeks. My Google Plus account, which is where you can find our live broadcast of these, is google.com/+BillMeeks. And I'll go ahead and plug, I write a series of superhero books called Dog Boy Adventures, about to come out with another one towards the end of this month called You can go ahead and pre-order it now. Just go to dogboyadventures.com and click on Eye of the Scarab there at the front page, and it'll send you over to Amazon with the pre-order and everything. Okay, well, I guess that's about it. Thank you again, Victoria, for the interview.
Thank you so much. Can you put her up again? I want to pet her again.
Oh, you want to pet? Okay, hold on. Let me put up Victoria here.
That's right.
Hi, Victoria.
There's Victoria.
Hi, Victoria.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Victoria.
Hi. Shake.
Shake it up.
Okay, that's going to be completely lost on the
I know. I'm
listeners.
so sorry, audio listeners.
Well, I guess until next time, or come back next week
Come back
for
next week
more
for
Legends of Gotham.
One of these days, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll get it one day. Okay, thank you everyone
Thank
for joining the live
you.
stream. We'll hop into the chat for like a
Mwah,
split second
mwah.
here.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye.